Okay, let's try and unpack this. Just picture it. You grab your phone, you log on, and you just, well, you start scrolling. Video after video, right? For maybe almost 2 hours. Every single day.
Yeah, it sounds intense when you put it like that.
And now think about a country with, over 1 billion people. And two of the absolute biggest tech companies there. Their main thing is that kind of short video.
It's staggering, really. We're talking about giants like ByteDance, which owns Douyin, and Kuaishou. They're right up there with Tencent and Alibaba in terms of active users.
So this isn't just like a niche trend. It's a huge shift in how people are spending their time online, especially in China. It's fundamentally changing media consumption.
Absolutely. And the sheer volume of time is pretty mind-blowing.
Our source material lays out some numbers that are quite compelling. It says the average mobile internet user in China, online for about 6 hours and 6 minutes a day.
Wow, 6 hours.
Yeah. And out of that, get this, 1 hour and 50 minutes just on short form video.
1 hour 50. So that beats out, what, traditional TV, live streams?
Everything, even listening to music on your phone. It's the #1 most consumed online audiovisual thing.
And if you think about, say, an average video being maybe 30 seconds,
Do the math.
that's something like 220 videos
Mm.
per person, per day. Just boom, boom, boom.
It's a constant stream. And look, this deep dive, it isn't just about people watching cat videos, right? It's about how this massive shift is completely shaking up advertising.
Definitely. We're focusing a lot on Douyin, which people outside China often think of as just TikTok's counterpart.
Right, and we've got this really interesting piece of analysis here. It uses some pretty solid data to break down the tech side, but also the huge business impact.
Yeah, so our mission today really is to dig into the why. Why is short-form video advertising becoming so dominant in China? How does it actually work differently than, say, TV ads?
And importantly, what does the data say about how effective it really is? Because some of the claims are pretty wild.
They really are. We'll look at some maybe surprising user habits, some effectiveness metrics that seem almost too good to be true.
And real examples from big companies. It paints a picture of advertising's future that might feel a little, well, unconventional.
Unconventional is a good word. Definitely not your grandfather's ad agency approach.
Okay, so we've set the scene. The scale is immense. But why? Why are people hooked? What makes these short videos so sticky?
Well, a big piece is just how effortless it feels. It's passive, a bit like channel surfing on old-school TV. You don't have to actively search.
The app just feeds it to you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You open Douyin, and boom, there's a video playing. The algorithm takes over.
And those recommendation engines, ByteDance's in particular, are famously, maybe even spookily, good at figuring out what you'll watch next.
They learn your tastes incredibly quickly and just keep serving up stuff that holds your attention, video after video.
It's also the density, right? Like you said, potentially hundreds of different things in the time you'd watch one episode of a show.
Yeah, that constant novelty, that variety, it gives you a different kind of hit, a different satisfaction compared to sticking with one long thing.
Plus, there's almost no downside to skipping. If a video isn't interesting in the first, 3 seconds.
Swipe. Gone. It was only 15 or 30 seconds anyway.
Yeah.
The commitment is super low.
And you mentioned Douyin versus TikTok. It's not just for kids in China, is it?
Not at all. That's a key difference from how TikTok might be seen in, say, Japan or even parts of the West. Douyin is more like national infrastructure. All ages use it.
So the content is much broader.
Oh, incredibly diverse. News, science explainers, history, business tips, comedy, travel, food. Everything you can imagine. It reflects the whole society, not just one demographic.
The source even pointed out the rise of elderly users on smartphones there.
Yes, and for many of them, short-form video is a major activity. The source notes, maybe worryingly in some cases, that hundreds of thousands of people over 60 might be watching for 10 hours or more a day.
Wow, okay, so it's deeply woven into daily life across the board.
For sure.
So with that kind of massive engagement, that reach, how does it change the advertising game?
This is where it gets really revolutionary, I think. The entire goal of the ad shifts. Think about old TV commercials.
Right, repetition. See the jingle, hear the name over and over.
Exactly. Because you had to remember the brand name until you were actually in a position to buy it later at the store, or maybe searching online later.
The purchase was disconnected from seeing the ad.
Totally disconnected. But on Douyin, you see an ad for, I don't know, some cool gadget. You tap the screen, and bang, you're on the product page. You can buy it right there, right then.
So it's not about lodging it in your memory for later.
Not primarily. The main goal shifts from memory to instant action. Getting that tap, sparking that immediate interest that leads to a click and maybe a sale. Remembering the exact brand name, almost secondary.
Which leads to that other really interesting point the source makes, how the line between normal videos and ads gets really blurry.
Yeah, very blurry. A lot of the ads are deliberately made to look like just another user-generated video.
You mean kind of low budget looking, like on a phone?
Exactly. The source calls it a shabby aesthetic sometimes. Vertical video, maybe shaky cam, basic editing. It looks like something your friend might post.
But why would a big brand want their ad to look shabby? Doesn't that hurt the image?
It seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But it's totally strategic. The goal isn't winning an award for best cinematography.
Okay.
The goal is to blend in. If it looks just like the organic content around it, you're less likely to instantly recognize it as an ad and skip past it.
So it increases the chance you'll actually watch it for a few seconds?
Get hooked. And maybe, just maybe, tap that buy now link. It's all about effectiveness.
So the only metric that really matters is, did it drive the conversion? Did people click and buy?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
On these platforms, for many advertisers, conversion is king. If that rough-looking vertical video shot on an iPhone gets amazing sales results, that's a brilliant ad. The old rules about needing slick production, they don't always apply here.
And the data in the source really seems to back this up. It talks about much higher ad efficiency on Douyin compared to other platforms.
Yeah, there was some data from 2019, admittedly a few years old now, but it showed Douyin generating something like 9.46 times the ad revenue per user per minute compared to, say, Bilibili.
9 times. That's huge. Even if the number shifted, it points to a big difference.
It suggests they're incredibly good at turning user attention into ad dollars, much better than some other digital formats at the time. That revenue per user per minute metric is pretty telling.
And what about how people actually discover products? Where do ads have the most impact?
Okay, this was interesting. The source cited surveys showing that for passive discovery, meaning you weren't looking for anything specific, but an ad just caught your eye, short-form video was number one.
More than TV, more than social media.
More than TV, definitely. For passive discovery, yes. Now, if you were actively searching for product info, maybe checking reviews or asking friends, then traditional social media platforms might still edge it out slightly. But for just stumbling across something new via an ad, short-form video led the pack.
Okay, let's get into some of those case studies. They really illustrate the point. There was one about Mondelez, the big food company.
Right, so Mondelez ran this campaign, and they used both OTV, online TV, think ads and streaming shows like on Netflix or whatever, and Douyin.
Okay.
The OTV part reached about 60% of their target audience. Pretty standard. But here's the kicker. They surveyed people afterwards, and a huge chunk of those who remembered the ad had seen it only on Douyin.
Only on Douyin. How big a chunk?
In the major Tier 1 cities, it was like 66.7%. But get this, in the smaller Tier 5 cities, it was 95.8%.
Wow. Almost everyone in those smaller cities who saw the ad saw it only on Douyin.
Exactly. It shows Douyin wasn't just duplicating the OTV reach, it was capturing a massive audience, especially outside the biggest metro areas, that the other online video ads were completely missing.
That really speaks to its penetration across the whole country.
Definitely. Then there was another case study, this one about daily necessities, stuff you buy regularly.
Like soap or snacks or whatever, things where you maybe need to see the ad a few times.
Precisely. For those kinds of products, frequency matters. Seeing the ad multiple times builds awareness and purchase intent.
Makes sense.
So the study found that typical OTV campaigns struggled to get the average contact rate, the number of times one person saw the ad, above 1 view per person in most cities. Often it was less than 1.
So many people only saw it once, if at all.
Right. But Douyin, it consistently delivered average contact rates above 1 view per person. And in some places, like Tier 1 cities, it was up to 2.7 views per person.
Okay, so nearly 3 views on average for the target audience. That's a big difference if you need repeat exposure.
Huge difference. It shows it's way better for hitting that frequency goal for certain product types.
It wasn't all just about direct sales, though, right? There was a brand building example, too, Sanyuan Foods.
Yeah, Sanyuan Foods are like an older, more traditional dairy company. They wanted to boost their brand image, focusing on trust, family, safety.
So not just buy our milk now.
Exactly. They used a celebrity in these image-focused short video ads, themes of family, love, that kind of thing. And they targeted specific groups, fans of the celebrity, existing customers, people who watch family dramas, and so on.
And what was their goal?
Their goal was ambitious for short video. Get people in those target groups to see the ad at least 3 times.
3 times seems like a lot for quick scrolling. Did they manage it?
Amazingly, yes, for a huge portion. About 73% of their target audience hit that 3+ view goal. The average across the whole target group was 2.8 views.
Wow, really close to the goal.
And the cost. This is the bit that blows your mind. It worked out to just 0.06 yuan per person who viewed the ad.
0.06 yuan. That's like a fraction of a US cent.
Pretty much negligible. So incredible efficiency, even for something softer like brand building, not just immediate sales clicks.
That cost per view is just tiny.
Yeah.
Okay, one more case study, Carsland Cosmetics. This one compared different digital ad types.
Right. Carsland launched a new product. They tested 3 digital ad formats against each other. First, app launch ads. You know, those full-screen ones that pop up when you open an app.
Yeah, usually annoying.
Usually annoying, exactly.
Yeah.
Second, standard short-form video ads within the feed. And third, relying on SNS spread posts on social media platforms. They used Nielsen surveys to measure the impact on things like awareness, how much people like the product, favorability, purchase intent, and if people would recommend it.
Okay, so how did they stack up?
The app launch ads. Great for awareness, hard to miss, right? But they tanked on all the positive stuff, favorability, intent, recommendation. People just found them intrusive.
No surprise there. What about social media?
SNS ads had lower overall awareness than the launch ads, but they scored the highest on recommendation rate. This kind of makes sense, right? Social media is built for sharing things you like.
Okay. And the winner was?
Short-form video ads. They came out strongest across the board. Top scores for awareness, favorability, purchase intent, and recommendation. All of them.
Really? Across everything. Why?
The source suggests it's that combination of seamless integration, they don't feel as jarring as a launch ad, and the engaging nature of the video format itself. They even played with horizontal videos for storytelling and vertical ones just focused on the product, showing flexibility.
So taking all this together, the usage numbers, the efficiency data, these case studies, it really seems like short-form video isn't just a channel in China. It's become like the center of the digital advertising universe there.
That's the takeaway, absolutely. It's a fundamental shift. The eyeballs are there, the engagement is there, and now the ad dollars and strategies are fully centered around it. It's moved beyond just being another platform.
Which naturally leads to the question, is this China's reality today and everyone else's tomorrow? Is this wave going to hit everywhere with the same force?
Well, the source we looked at offers a bit of caution there. It speculates that maybe it won't happen quite as fast or in exactly the same way in places like, say, Japan.
Why the difference?
A key factor they point to is the lack of that truly national, all-ages, short-form video platform like Douyin. In Japan, TikTok is big, but still seen mainly as a youth platform. Douyin managed to capture everyone, from kids to grandparents.
So that broad demographic reach of Douyin is crucial for achieving this level of advertising dominance. It needs to be ubiquitous.
It seems to be a really important ingredient, yeah. Now, speaking of the source, we should probably add a little context there.
Right. Important caveat. The data, the case studies we've been discussing, where did they come from?
They come from Ocean Engine, and Ocean Engine is owned by ByteDance.
The company that owns Douyin and sells ads on Douyin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to assume, reasonably, that the information presented is probably curated to highlight the successes.
They're showcasing their platform's strengths, which makes business sense.
Of course. The methodologies in the studies seem objective enough, but they're likely showing us the best-case scenarios, the campaigns that really worked to promote their ad services. So take the exact numbers with maybe a grain of salt.
But the fact that these kinds of results are even possible.
That's the key point. Even if these are highlight reels, the fact that campaigns can achieve this kind of reach, frequency, cost efficiency, and conversion impact on Douyin compared to other platforms, it still demonstrates the platform's immense potential and power in that market.
And the source even gives you a way to see this for yourself, right? They mention a website.
Yeah, the Ocean Engine Juliang Chuanghi site. The URL is cc.oceanengine.com, inspirationcreative-radar-video.typeradar. It's basically a library of real ads running on Douyin.
And you can actually see the kinds of ads that perform well.
You can. You can even filter them by performance, things like conversion rate, number of deliveries, impressions. Even if you don't read Chinese, just scrolling through gives you a real feel for how different these ads often look.
Different from polished Western TV ads or even typical YouTube pre-rolls.
Totally different. It really hammers home that mindset shift we talked about. For these advertisers, success isn't about beautiful filmmaking. It's purely about driving that conversion, the old aesthetic rules from the Mad Men era. They can actually get in the way here.
So let's try and wrap this deep dive up. We've seen this incredible rise of short-form video in China, not just changing how people kill time, but radically rewriting the rules of digital advertising.
Yeah, it's driven by this unique combo: passive, engaging consumption, super smart recommendation algorithms, and this relentless focus on immediate, measurable action conversion, often throwing traditional ad aesthetics out the window if they don't serve that goal.
It really makes you think about your own habits, doesn't it? When you're scrolling through your feeds, wherever you are you noticing that line between entertainment and advertising getting fuzzier? How does that instant tap-to-buy possibility change how you interact online?
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. If that line completely disappears, if the ads just blend seamlessly into an endless, perfectly personalized entertainment stream, what does that do to our conscious choices? How does it reshape our experience as consumers in ways we might not even notice?
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of China's short-form video ad revolution.
Fascinating stuff.
Mm.
Until next time.